Shameless plug incoming. Today's episode is brought to you by the book Everyone is a Sinner But Me, available now at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Pre-recorded from Volpes Studios, it's the MCS1 show featuring Caleb Hanna and now your host, MCS1.
Welcome! Welcome everyone to another edition of the MCS1 show. I am MCS1, once again joined via satellite my dear compadre, Caleb Hanna. What up, Caleb?
What is going on?
Oh man, you know what's going on? MLMs, multi-level marketing companies. So
Sweet.
The latest and craziest buzz about how you can be your own boss and alienate all your friends in the process.
They are on the up and up, one might say.
They are, definitely. So,
or something. I don't know.
Or something. Yeah, I don't know either. So today we're going to talk about, this is a little bit kind of a different show. We've talked about MLMs in the past. We kind of always talk about them because we're dogging on them just so damn much.
Sure.
But those that aren't familiar with MLMs, they're multi-level marketing companies. And we'll be talking more and more about that as we go on. So if you're a fresh timer for these, we'll definitely break it down enough to where you'll understand. And we've done.
And if you don't, just Google MLM.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy.
Or check our previous shows, our Happy Valley Hey Mecca show. About how
yes,
Happy Valley, Utah is the Mecca for multi-level marketing companies because of its extremely lax business laws.
Yeah, which is pretty hilarious.
So, this is going to be fun. Today, we're going to play a game. Or explain a game. More like explain a game.
I was going to say, are we going to play? Because
I hope you got some dice, Caleb.
I sure don't.
So, I went through one day, and I took a Monopoly board, and I heavily photoshopped it. And I changed, like, everything about this, and I took it from like Streets of Monopoly to multi-level marketing companies for the squares. And when I first thought of this, I'm like, oh man, this will be the most stupidest thing ever. But I was just gonna do it for fun. But as time went on, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And so then I came up with a way to play it as well. And if you go to the MCS1show.com, you can see the board on there. We have the board posted, the Photoshop board, and the basic rules for everything of how to play this. And it's fun. It is ridiculous, just like MLMs. And so let's get started a little bit. So we're gonna kind of go a little bit back and forth. Like I'll explain the rules and the board. But first thing I want to mention about the board is in the middle, like the way I have this set up is like I have it says MLMonopoly, and then I have a pyramid going up in the middle and a dollar sign on top of the pyramid.
Yeah, which is pretty dope,
way
honestly.
Dope. It is super cool looking. Check that out like on the website because it is super cool. And I have the text right below that, the MLMonopoly. And it says, will you rise to the top of the pyramid? And it's like that 80s video game type of call. Will you?
Can we have it pixelated too?
No, because I like the font that it's in. Because it's like the Monopoly style font. And it's baller. It's super funny though. So we got MLMonopoly. And let's go through a little bit of these rules right now. So I created this MLMonopoly, and there are quite a few rules in this game. But the best thing about these rules, and just like any MLM, you can break them as long as you don't get caught. In fact, cheating is encouraged because that's really how you get to the top of an MLM. You cheat your way, whether it's on your taxes, whatever the hell you got to do to really get to the top of these. So it works similar to regular Monopoly, but there's quite a few vast differences. So let's go over the starting pieces for this. So we have first piece is lipstick.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, why would it not be?
And then leggings. Yeah, and then
Also
an
great.
essential oils bottle. Snake oil.
Snake oil.
We're just peddling around the board, and any
Pedaling.
and in the immortal words of
awesome.
Shane Barker, I got to say the snake oil pedals itself.
Because I mean,
It's true. Next, we have a portfolio filled with useless documents. Because every MLM recruiter always has this stupid portfolio just filled with shit. And it's like it's just like blank paper half the time.
it's so true.
Yeah, they try to look important, but it's useless documents. A rubber container for food, a skinny wrap, a
Awesome.
scented candle that you could have bought at Walgreens for $20. And finally,
Yes.
my personal favorite MLM piece, Caleb Hennon's business card. Because Caleb is an Amway rep, and I couldn't help myself take a stab at him.
I mean, as you
As
should.
I should. So, let's begin. Some of the basic rules. All the players start off as friends.
I'm sure that lasts long.
Yeah, it's like regular Monopoly. But over time, they will hate each other. And this is because the other players that are involved, all the other players except for you, are involved in a pyramid scheme. And all your friends that you're playing with, they just can't see they're in a pyramid scheme. But the one you are in is a legit business venture. So, just like a regular MLM. So thus you will leave your friends to pursue your own, quote, business venture while alienating all your friends and family along the way.
I kind of feel like that's a necessary part.
It really is. It really is. I mean, that's...
I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not alienating more people.
Yeah, you should be. You should be. So each player starts off with $5,000. However, and this is a big one, people, this is only a loan from your MLM company. The money is not yours. This is just like your startup thing. Some companies do this. They call it a consignment, where they'll give you a ton of money to start off, but it's a loan, and then you owe them. And you have to pay it back by selling products or something. And it's really messed up. So, you start off with this $5,000, but the money's not yours. And then, you can either pay this off at some point in the game or recruit 10 people to automatically have your debt forgiven. Because as they will pay over time the debt for you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then by turn 20, you will need to pay this money back. But if you don't keep track of turns, it's not a big deal. Just like the whole cheating is encouraged type of thing, or cheating the rules. Now here's where it gets really fun. The greenhouses are now people. Is how this works. Each little house now is a person, and it represents one person that will become part of your downline.
That's an important distinction.
Yes. Now, a motel, this one's very unique. A motel represents someone who will buy all of your products. Although these people don't appear in real life, we will use them just for the purpose of the game.
Sure.
Just to keep up with the motels and the homes type of thing.
I mean, you have to do it somehow.
Yes. So now you're probably wondering, well, what about so we got the people, the houses have been replaced by people. So what's that make the board with all the squares? Well, the streets have been replaced with MLMs, like marketing companies. So you're not buying a street, but you are buying an opportunity to be in a new business. Oh yeah. Now, however, due to heavy market saturation, only one player can be involved in one MLM at a time. Much like how there's one player who can only own one street in regular Monopoly. Now, you'll notice, like with the regular Monopoly board, there's all these specific colors. You can buy multiple MLMs without having corresponding colors and start placing people on them. Like, for example, the first two squares that we have It Works, the people that make that skinny wrap shit, and then Beachbody at the beginning of the board. We have those two. And you can if you just buy into your It Works, you can start recruiting people for your downline. And you're probably wondering how you recruit people for your downline. It's when you pass go. And we'll explain more about that as we go on. Let's since we're in the streets right now, let's just go over the MLMs of these, Caleb, the colored ones. So we already went over It Works and Beachbody. Next we have Tupperware, which is the king of well-known MLMs. And then we have Amway, Caleb's personal favorite. Yes,
it is my personal favorite because it's the best.
Primerica, I don't know much about them, to be honest.
I don't know anything about them, honestly.
Mary Kay. And this is basically right here where we got the pink thing. Right here, these three pink MLMs. I call this like Makeup Row. Makeup Row.
Nice.
Yeah,
where your dreams go to get prettied up.
Prettied up for that big night on the town selling makeup suckers. So we got Mary Kay, and then Avon, and then Unique. And then we got in our orange section, we have Scentsy, the people that sell those overpriced candles that you can get at Walgreens. And then Jamberry, another candle company.
And then doesn't Jamberry do fingernails too or something?
My bad. And then Pampered Chef. They're like a food-based one. And then we have free parking. And then back into our colors, we get for the reds, we have Lip Sense. That's
appropriate.
Life Vantage. They're a health
I don't know much about Life Vantage.
Zija is Zija is another health one. Similar to Herbalife, but we'll get into that later. New Skin.
Sure.
Your Caleb's
my least favorite.
And I call this right. Because these three here are based out of Happy Valley. Young Living and doTERRA. We could also call this Snake Oil Corner if we wanted to really. Snake oil. The pedals itself around the board.
Dude, it's really funny too. There are billboards up here now, and you probably missed these, but they actually have a billboard inviting you to visit the Young Living essential oils
garden. Like what?
Yeah. Like they don't call it. I forget what they call it. Like the greenhouse or something. But it's like where they grow all of the plants to make their oils. And I'm just like, man, my old boss would probably come in his pants if he went there.
Speaking of cum, the next one. No, I know this is a terrible segue, but there's actually. The next one is Pure Romance, and this is actually a MLM that sells sex toys.
Yeah, I think my wife and I actually saw that one the other day because one of her friends posted something, and I was like, "Why are you allowed to post that?"
My favorite is I've seen like someone like outside of a like it was like a church gathering type of thing selling Pure Romance stuff. I'm like, man, that is a ballsy move.
It's pretty. I mean, hey, more power to that person.
Next one is World Ventures. Have you heard of this one, Kate? Good one.
I've heard of it, but I don't know a lot about what they do.
So
I've heard the name. I shouldn't say I heard.
I heard this one like 2 months ago from my Uber driver of all people. He was trying to get me in on
Okay.
this. It's basically a vacation MLM. Yeah,
Okay.
for like booking trips and stuff like that. It's it sucks. But he was trying to get me in on that.
It does.
Yeah, it's like all these MLM, they suck. And I was just like, yeah, bro. Thrive's a big one.
Yeah, I've heard of Thrive. Mm-hmm.
And then we got the blues, the big blues. These are the big ones, heavy hitters. We have Herbalife, we've discussed in past shows, as well as and then the biggest one, LuLaRoe. LuLaRoe is the boardwalk of MLM. It's the high end one with the most legal trouble next to Herbalife.
It's because Herbalife too, like, so this is pretty funny. I mean, my dad's a scientist, and the company, so I don't know if you know this, but like when you establish something scientifically, you basically create a patent, right, on that thing. And my dad's made a career almost entirely out of breaking Herbalife's patent because they're so bad.
Oh gosh.
And breaking a patent in the scientific world means that you disprove the science.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Herbalife, you incredible pieces of crap.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty accurate way. That should be their motto. Herbalife. We're uncredible pieces of crap.
Gosh, seriously. Sounds like the university where I got my undergrad at.
Yeah.
Just uncredible pieces of crap.
Did I tell you that they asked me, because we went to the same undergrad university. When I graduated, they asked me if I wanted to pick up my diploma, and I literally replied in the email, "Nah, I'm good."
I don't blame you. I'll try not to get on a tangent and rant about them. Back to the board. Yeah. Back to the board, though. Railroads have been replaced with what I call downline collection. And so on here, on this board, we have where there was a railroad, there's just a giant dollar sign. And so when you land on these, you collect $100 per person within your downline.
Sure. Because that's what you do.
Yeah. And then if you have a red piece, which is the red person, $400 because that's someone who actually buys your overpriced crap. Now, you don't collect money by passing these spaces. You have to physically land on them. The economy's tough and you won't catch a break. Life is hard on the boulevard. Indeed. Now, here's the other thing. When another player lands on an MLM that you have invested in, they must purchase your worthless crap. And then like it would be the rent prices from a regular Monopoly game. And except it would be, buying whatever the hell they're selling or whatever they're
and being unable to.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, you're definitely sinking money in. And then prices will go up depending on how many people you have in your downline as well.
Right.
Now, speaking of the downline and how we're getting the people on them, we talked about passing go and how that's when you add a person to your downline. Also, you don't get money by passing go. You just get straight up another person recruited to your downline. Thus proving that these MLMs are actually not profitable unless you're recruiting other people. So,
so true.
You got to go around the board once and get someone for your downline any money for this. Now, jail is here too, and it's also appropriate that there is jail in an MLM themed game. Incredibly. And it works.
It's true. It's true.
It works the same way that it does in Monopoly. You land on jail, you go directly there. But don't worry, when you exit jail, or you don't lose anyone from your downline. No one thinks it's suspicious because there's so much cognitive dissonance going on that
Well, that's that's how legitimate business opportunities work.
Exactly. And so that ensures that people can't see the MLM scam for what it really is.
Sure. The rose-colored glasses, as they say.
We took out the community chest and we changed that to downline bonus. Although it claims to be a bonus, it sometimes won't be. Like a regular community chest or anything that actually does have to do with the downline. And we'll get into a couple sample downline bonuses as we go on. Chances work the same way in Monopoly. And they're really a double-edged sword. Remember, you signed up for this. You want to be an MLM, and you want to be rich beyond your wildest dreams and spend more time with your family. So that's how it goes with the chance. It's like pure chance, and these are really fun. Now, a few chance cards are marked with bankruptcy. Now, when this happens, a certain MLM will not be able to be used for the rest of the game. You will lose your money from your downline and all that money that you have invested in this said MLM. Now, on that note, though, rumor has it that some of these MLMs will regroup and reform under a different name, and you can rebuild on them once again and recollect with a new downline. Now, this is only a rumor, and you're too busy being concerned with making that dollar to be concerned with petty rumors. #BossBabe. and the reason I threw this in is because
Boss Babe. Oh man.
I know the reason I threw in not the #BossBabe, but the MLM regroup and reform. Several MLMs will shut down and then regroup several years later under a new name.
Oh yeah.
And do the same thing, rinse and repeat. And just rake in all the money. It's a terrible thing, but that's what they do. Now the electric company, that light bulb, I replace. When people have like an idea, a light bulb goes off in their head, and MLMs are always filled with people that try to shortcut through their way through life and don't really have any business background. So they're kind of just making this up as they go along, but think they know everything. Classic Dunning-Kruger type of stuff. So I replaced the electric company with a bad idea. And when you land on it, it costs your business $150 because it was
Okay, I mean.
Exactly.
That's a small time fee.
Totally. I may have lost.
These guys are boss babes.
I made a ton this weekend from my husband cashing his check from his 9-to-5 job. I mean. Stuff like that. And I took the waterworks.
Oh, man. So true.
And it just seems like bad ideas are all over the MLM community. And I can't imagine why. No. Now,
it doesn't seem fishy to me.
I replaced the the income tax or whatever. I replaced that with what I call 1099 time. And this is familiar. For those familiar with tax season, which is right around the corner, thank God. 1099 is where you work as an independent contractor, and you have to pay your own taxes. People in MLMs are not actual employees because they're not receiving benefits. They're representatives for something. So they're working as an independent contractor, and so they're under a 1099 tax status, meaning they have to pay their own taxes. And this really screws over a lot of people because they don't realize it. And it's not exactly in the startup packet for most of these. Or if it is, or if it is in there,
there are a lot that
don't
even mention it.
Now for 1099
it's because they gloss over it.
Also, I have another one called IRS audit, which you just pay $10,000, which there is not 10 grand in the game usually. And 1099 time, it's paying 90% of everything or 10 grand as well. These are basically game over spaces. This is to make sure that this is MLM Darwinism right here. It's to ensure that you probably wouldn't have made it, and they wouldn't been able to sucker enough money out of you so you would get out and quit while the quitting's not good, but better than what it could be. So the other thing about this game, remember, ready, fire, aim. Don't get hung up on, business laws and regulations. You're an entrepreneur, not some 9-to-5er. The point of the game isn't to have fun, but to get rich by cutting corners. Another thing I want to mention, the in jail thing. I actually have it as just consulting. I instead of just visiting, I figured that was worth mentioning.
Oh,
and
man,
I'm gonna
that's
have
good.
a reason why I brought that up in a little bit. So let's talk about some of these sample downline bonuses we have that replace the community chest. And I got a couple of these on here. Your downline recruits 2 of their friends, gain $500. So your downline is in government investigation, lose a turn. Pay poor tax, or what us lowly 9-to-5ers call regular tax. Downline funds disbursement in your favor. Collect $200. Now here's the jail one. This is my favorite. Go to jail for some consulting. Bonus. If you roll a 7 or higher from using 2 dice, you can add 1 person from your downline to your downline. So you can literally add a convict to your downline through your wonderful consulting efforts. And then get out of jail free card.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Because the warden's wife is also in your downline. I know.
The warden's
I'm proud of
wife.
you.
That is awesome.
2 people from your downline
Stellar.
leave and have decided that your MLM was a scam. Lose 2 people from your most profitable downline. And these are, I know, these are a couple samples, and feel free to make up your own. Just like, it's like the XFL. You can just make up the rules as you go along. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
now, chances,
isn't that how you play
chances
everything?
are pretty good. Chances work the same way they do in regular Monopoly, just more painful. Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not add 1 person to your downline. Threw that one in there. Significant other tells you to get a real. Liquidate your most profitable downline. Pay doctor's fees. Now remember, you don't have health insurance because MLMs wouldn't spring for it. So you pay $500. Ouch. I didn't have too many other more chances. But, like I said, feel free to add your own chances. There's rules, downline bonuses, and whatever the hell. And this is something, and this is something
because don't follow the rules.
I made this as a joke, but I would love to see how this plays out. I'm sure it would be ridiculous. Obviously. And I'm kind of interested to see what other rules people are going to come up with or whatever. And you can see this at the MCS1.com and check it out. And in addition to this, we also would like to announce that we're releasing a shirt with this as well. We are releasing an MLMonopoly shirt, and you can pick this up at the MCS1show.com. And we also have it in a coffee mug as well.
Because, when you're sipping Joe,
my favorite thing
you got to be thinking about
with the mug, drinking something out of it around that jackass that sells essential oils in the office. Yeah, I think that's what I would like a life goal. Or wear this at the next Sensi party I go to or whatever, or when I'm hashtag boss babe, or when I want to hang out next to the when I want to hang out next to the Pure Romance booth by a church. Yeah,
I think that one might be my favorite MLM.
The best part about this as well that Monopoly boards come in as well. So pretty good branding. Great parody there. Anyway, yeah. Now that's our show. I want to thank Caleb for coming on and playing MLMonopoly with me. Explaining the greatest game of all time. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the MCS1 show. For episodes on society and counterculture, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. For regular updates, show notes, and links, head to the MCS1show.com or search AOL keyword MCS1.